Hey guys, this is Rick with Sawyer Custom Crafts. I want to take a second and share with you our newest project, which is these little scarecrows made out of 4x4s. These things are just super stinking cute and they would make your house look great this fall. So if you're interested in a little bit of fall decorating DIY, this video is for you. On the other hand, if you're looking for a project to be able to make and sell, man, I've got something great for you this time. So either way, if either one of those two are something you're interested in, follow me and I'll show you how I built them.
All right, guys, for anybody that's interested, there are build plans that are available on our website. But to get started, we're going to take a 4x4 and we're going to cut it to 10.5 inches in length. And then I'm going to turn the angle on the miter saw and cut a 10-degree angle cut on that same 4x4. Now, keep in mind which side is the angle and which side is flat, because when you are putting your arms, in order for his little hat to kind of cock right at the ends, you need to know which side you're putting that on. So drill your hole for your arms on the face that's flat, not on the face that has an angle. And so I've got it marked, and now I'm using a drill press to drill that hole. And I'm going to start with a 1/4 inch bit and then flip over to a 3/4 inch spade bit. You could do this with a hand drill as well. You just want to make sure that you're safe and that you have it clamped down if you need to. But just get it so that it's your dowel can slide pretty freely through it, and then you're good to go on that. So next, we're going to be cutting part B, and we're going to cut that to 5.5 inches by 5.5 inches. I'm cutting it out of a 1x6, so just one cut there. We'll get that cut right for you. And it's actually going to be the same size as part D later, so you can cut that now or you can cut it later if you want to. But now we're aligning parts A and B, and you're going to see me use some wood glue, kind of a combination of wood glue and CA glue here in just a second. And it really helps to hold things in place. And you'll see what I do. I've got some wood glue. I'm gonna put the wood glue on. There's a piece of tape there that you didn't see me put on. I'm gonna pull that off, and then that leaves me a dry spot to apply some CA glue. And on the end of part A there, I'm going to use some accelerator. And when I push that down in just a second or two, it holds it tight. So it does a couple of things. It holds it until the glue dries, but it also holds it so that you don't have to worry about it moving around while you're screwing that stuff in. And that's a really useful tip if you need stuff to kind of hold still for you. Anyway, it's useful for me. So make sure you get those screws flush, and then we're going to move on to cutting parts D, E, and F. These are going to be all parts of his little hat. Again, part D is cut out of that same 5x5, or 1x6, I'm sorry. And then E and F, or F is cut out of that 1x2 that you see me cutting right there. And I'll show you how to put those together in just a second. So um, here we are, we're putting together parts E and F. Now again, this is part of the hat, and what I'm doing is I'm just outlining it really so that I'll know where to put the wood glue. And I've actually put a little cross kind of hatch right there, if you can see it. And that'll help me align it later when I get to that point. So again, wood glue and CA glue, and that's going to hold it so that I don't have to worry about it spinning around on me while I'm screwing it down. And then the same uh, pilot hole, and then 2.5 inch wood screw will hold that more than secure. His hat's not going to get blown off in the wind, I can assure you. So anyway, we're going to put part D on the part A, but we're actually going to screw all three parts of his hat onto the base at one time here. So again, I'm using the wood glue and the CA glue trick. Put some extra glue there on the end grain of that 4x4, because it's really going to soak up that wood glue if you don't. But I'm going to spray it down, and then I'll use where I aligned it and that little crosshair trick again to keep everything straight. And then now you're going to see me. I'm going to just kind of center it. If you make a lot of these, you might make a little jig or something, but I'm just centering it to make sure that I got it centered in on his hat. And then I'm going to add some wood glue and same CA glue trick again. But I'll, you're going to see me in a second. I'm going to screw down through that piece right there, all the way down into that main body. And that's going to hold all of those parts pretty secure so that they're not going to get moved off. So now I'm just pre-drilling those pilot holes. You don't want to get this far and use a screw that's going to split it. So it's always better to pre-drill if you can. And then again, these are those 2.5 inch wood screws. And I don't know exactly, I think they're like power drive wood screws or whatever, but they hold really well. Now we're going to cut the dowel, which is a 3/4 inch dowel, and I cut it to 12.5 inches. And once you get that done, you're really done
Hey
with this
guys,
main
just wanted to
part.
break into this video for 1 second. I know most of the folks that are making these things fall into one of two groups. Either A, you're doing this kind of stuff all the time and you're able to make these off of the video, and if so, that's awesome. That's great. The other kind of group are folks that really would prefer to have a plan to be able to follow along with, and I just want to take a second and let you know that we actually have those. I've made these plans, and that's actually what I made these guys off of. So these plans are available if you're interested and if you like to just have things printed so you can follow along. Other than that, thanks so much for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate every comment that you send my way. Enjoy the rest of the show.
All right, so we're going to continue with kind of the optional. This would be adding the little sign. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill another hole into this 3/4 inch dowel. I'm gonna drill a 1/4 inch hole at an angle into this 3/4 inch dowel, and I got a little fancy thing that I bought from I think it's Rockler a while back, and I love this little handheld drill press thingy. But you don't need it. I mean, I use it because I have it, but really you're just a 1/4 inch hole in at an angle, and the angle isn't even specific. Just angle it. No, you don't have to have anything special if you don't have it. Now I'm drilling the same 1/4 inch hole into each end of that dowel. That's going to hold that raffia or whatever you call it stuff uh, later at the end of his hands. Now, one of the things that I found out was that the 1/4 inch dowel was a little too tight to fit into that hole. So I just chucked it up into the drill and grabbed some just regular 120 sandpaper and just sanded it a little bit, and it seemed to do the trick. And sometimes you just do kind of what works, I guess. So anyway, now I'm going to be cutting the sign, and the sign, I'm just cutting it out of 1/4 inch plywood. And that's one thing about this project is that in the parts description, I list all of the parts that you would have to buy if you don't have anything. But to be honest with you, a lot of this stuff can be made just with extra where you have cutoffs of other projects. Now I'm just cutting that sign to the right size. All right, so this is going to be cutting the actual little sign post. And I think it's 4 inches is what I cut that at. But it's going to go like that, and I'll show you later. I'm just going to hot glue it together. So nothing really fancy about that. So hopefully you've sanded this stuff kind of as you went. I didn't. I forgot. I guess I was just focused on getting it put together. So I'm gonna sand it now. But one of the things I want you to notice is, see, I know it's hard to see, but I'm kind of stressing that top a little bit. And what I'm doing is I'm shaping this top hat so that it's not just square. Now you could use like a dowel, a 2 inch dowel or something if you wanted to instead of just a 2x2, but you know. It's what I had, so I think it worked out pretty good. So now I've enlisted some help. My wife is a whole lot better off in the color department and finding the right colors for things than I am. So she stepped in to save the day, and she's getting the top stain. And the stain color on the top is actually a mocha. It's a Minwax mocha stain, and on the bottom you're going to see she's painting it kind of a grayish color. Now, I don't have the exact color that is because it's just some stuff that we had laying around, but basically it's just a gray, and that's the same way it's with the blue. They're just basic colors, and then what we've done is we've watered them down so that it'll let some of the grain show through. And the same way with the white, it's watered down as well. And that it kind of gives it that farmhouse distress look. Eventually, what I'll do at the end is I'll come back once these things are dry and I'll sand them. And that will really kind of distress a little bit and it'll let some of that natural color come through. So now I'm super gluing the sign together. And again, I'm just super gluing it. All right, so now we've finally made it to the fun part, and all of the stuff that I'm going to use here, I got off of Amazon with the exception of that blue ribbon. So I'll try to make sure that I leave the links, the Amazon links. Now, of course, remember that I'm an Amazon affiliate, so if you choose to use one of those links, it doesn't cost you anymore, but it does help kind of support the channel, so I appreciate that. So anyway, what I'm doing right there is I'm just making the little, I don't know what you call them, kind of breeches that are, I'm sure there's a better word, but I'm using a piece of that ribbon and I'm putting it on a piece of that brown, uh, I guess ribbon is the same word, and it kind of gives the look like it's got, some jeans that have got some rips coming out. So anyway, that's his little bottom, and we're getting him fixed up. And I'm using super glue. There's probably a better way to attach fabric to wood, but it's what I had. So doing the same thing, giving him some little knees, um, and now we're putting the belt on now. I think the belt buckle is probably one of my favorite parts. So actually what it is, and you'll see here in just a second, the belt buckle is actually a little small hinge. And it's got some little screws that work, but I don't know. I like the way it came out, and it really looks kind of cool. It just looks like he's kind of thrown together, but I like the belt buckle quite a bit. So we get that screwed in, and now I'm going to start by putting the eyes. And the eyes are going to be, I use what's called upholstery nails. And again, I'll leave these links in the description. So the eyes and the buttons are going to be the same thing. And you put two in, and then the third one that you can use later if you don't mess up like I do, and I'll show you when I get there, to hold his little scarf. But I'm putting in his eyebrows. His eyebrows are going to be just U-nails, like fencing U-nails. And again, I'll leave that. Now that metal wire, I wanted to show you that the way it looks, because I ordered that stuff twice off of Amazon, and both times it came in kind of I don't know, rusty and gnarly looking. So I ordered it once and I actually sent it back. I was like, nah, man, this stuff is used, but I don't know. The second one came just the same way, so I guess that's the way it comes. And I mean, it works, so I guess it's okay. But anyway, we're just putting a smile on with the wire and those little U-nails. And of course, again, calling in some help to help me get him smiled right. So we'll get that nailed in there, and then we will put the little scarf on him. And there he is. And the scarf, the actual ribbon, like I say, you can use any kind of ribbon you want. Oh, we're gonna put the nose on. Um, so the nose I just painted orange, like a little candy corn nose. And scarf, you can use any ribbon you want. I think like Hobby Lobbies or Michael's or somewhere like that would have some pretty cool scarves. You could use different colors. If you sell that, it might be a great way to kind of offer some. See, that's where I messed up. I put his little scarf pin in the wrong spot, and my wife was like, that's not going to work. So again, she moves in to save the day, and I appreciate her helping me out. So we get a scarf back on right, but I was saying you can get really any kind of scarf, and as an upsell, if you're selling these things, you could offer different colors of scarves, or if you're going to make the signs later, you can offer different little sayings on the signs. We made our saying. Oh, we have a laser machine, so but you could handwrite it or hand draw it or whatever, and all of those will work. So now I'm just kind of scrunching up that raffia. I guess tell me if I'm saying that right or wrong. I don't know. It's just like straw uh, stuff. I made mine a little too long. Uh, once I'm looking at the kind of the finished products, like it's super, super long, but whatever. And what I did is I just put some hot glue into that hole that we drilled into that 3/4 inch dowel earlier, and I shoved it in there, and then I hot glued it again, and that seems to work pretty well to hold it in. When I'm done and I put this into his body, you'll see me put some tape, and it's just masking tape, kind of right where that dowel goes into his body. And what that does is it adds a little bit of friction so that the sign doesn't just spin when you put the sign on. But there's his sign. He's a cute little burger. Anyway, these things are really fun. This is how they turned out. We made, quite a few of them already, and you could do them a bunch of different ways. I'd love to see how you guys do them, if you're making different signs or if you're making different colors or whatever. So shoot me some pictures and let me know. I mean, like I say, I'll put all the links to the stuff that we use, but I know you guys can get creative too. But I'd love to see what you do. If you need the plans, don't forget I have the plans available at our website. And if you need those, feel free to reach out and grab a set of those. But again, thank you so very much for checking this video out, and I hope that this video has brought some value to you, and maybe it's helped you make something cool either for your home or something to sell this year. If it has, like and subscribe, and I appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.